Hi there, and welcome back to the Nerd Lair. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing the Fantastic Four movie. I got the Fantastic Four t-shirt on. I'm back here in the Nerd Lair. One thing I wanted to show off is one of my favorite Marvel Legends here is actually The Thing. And so I am I wouldn't say like fanboy of the Fantastic Four, but I definitely like them a lot. And I don't have a good place to put this, but I was really looking forward to this movie a couple years ago when the MCU was in this weird spot, and I think that it's getting its way out of there. It's getting out of the cog of weirdness. I was like, just bring in the Fantastic Four. We have the rights. Just do it. Set the ship correctly. And I really do think that this movie does that. I think it really returns to form. I spent the whole 25-minute car ride home racking my brain about what I was going to say in this video, and then I sat here for another 15 minutes just really thinking back on the movie. And I really think that I'm not overblowing anything with this review. I just think that this is before I say anything, I think that this is a really good movie. I don't know if anybody's going to have their mind blown after this movie. I think this is the movie it had to be for the greater MCU. I always look at these movies as none of them are standalone. You can't watch Fantastic Four without thinking of the greater MCU. You can't do it anymore. I think that an entry-level fan could come in and watch this and enjoy it, but for Marvel fans, like it is a part of a big thing. It has to be good at that, in my opinion. So, let's hop down the line here. Story. I think this story is very good. I think it's a 9.5. I had no idea what they were going to do with this story. Big spoilers. This is a spoiler talk. I put it in the title. If you're watching this movie will be spoiled. Do not watch. Don't watch my review until you've seen the movie. I want you to enjoy it for what it is. That being said, this movie I think handles Galactus appropriately, in my opinion. The second that the Fantastic Four meet him and his eyes like glow open, that was Darth Vader levels of cool. Like, it was eerie, and the Silver Surfer is eerie and really good, in my opinion. The way that they handle Galactus, knowing that it's either their son or the world's going to end, I think is really cool. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was really fun. There was a lot of awesome moments. Couple moments where I thought that I've seen this before, but I still think it warrants the 9.5 I gave it. I was hooked. It was as good as what I thought it was going to be story-wise. The characters, they're the Fantastic Four. It wasn't handled like Fan Four Stick. It was just good old-fashioned fun. I liked this a lot more than when I would watch the Fantastic Four as a kid. And I loved the Fantastic Four as a kid. I'd go watch that movie right now and enjoy it. This is a way better movie than anything that's come before it. They handled these characters so well. I love The Thing. I love the Human Torch. I love Reed Richards, Sue Storm. They're really cool characters. I have all their Funkos. I thought these are worthy characters to latch onto for the next 10 years. They could be the face of them, and I'd be so fine with it. Pedro Pascal. I remember when I saw the casting, and I was like, that's kind of a weird choice. I think he's like literally great. You don't even think about it in this movie. He feels like Reed Richards. I don't remember the actor's name, which is really bad when you're doing a review, but the guy who plays The Thing is also in a TV show I just reviewed on here called The Bear. He's phenomenal. The guy who plays the Human Torch, Johnny, is in Stranger Things. I think he's good. I know there's been some discourse online that he isn't the best pick. I personally thought he was great. I like the softer Johnny, and so I didn't mind that myself. So the characters, I give a 9.5. I liked that Stingray from Cobra Kai is in this movie as the Mole Man. I loved Galactus. I thought the characters were really well done and perfectly chosen. 9.5. The visuals, I will give the visuals an 8.5, and I think they're very good. Sometimes I think the movie's a little dark. Like when I think Fantastic Four, look how colorful this is. And sometimes I didn't think it was all that colorful. Maybe it'll get there, but it was just, and I think it was appropriate though for like its 50s, 60s tone. So I'll give it an 8.5 for that. Some CGI moments. There's a scene where the car is like swinging in and they like leap out of it, and that was so CGI. I was like, it took me completely out of the movie for a second. So a couple points docked off for that. Direction, I'm not gonna spend too long on this. I give it an 8. I liked what the characters did. I like some of the sequences in the beginning. One thing that I will complain about, I just wish I could have seen Galactus do something to make me, and this is a bad phrase, but poop my pants a little bit, like be super afraid of him. I kind of in the back of my head knew we were going to resolve this. I just wish we could have gotten to see something, and that's, I think, either a story thing or direction thing, I don't know. But Silver Surfer was just so cool. There was a moment where my brother-in-law next to me audibly was like, okay, that was cool. She's just like riding the wave in the fire. That's a directional thing. That's so cool. Like they didn't have to include that scene. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Nothing like blew me away, but there was some really fun stuff in there. We're going to go dialogue and humor. I put 8.5 strictly for the dialogue. I think the dialogue between the family is some of the best in the MCU. The humor, there's some funny parts, but they're funny like this. Nothing made me laugh out loud. Like Superman, I laughed out loud. Nothing in this movie made me laugh out loud, really. There's a scene at the end with the car seat being a dad of 2 young kids. That was like really funny to me. But there's a whole section of people out there that don't have that struggle, that aren't going to be like dying laughing. They're just going to be like, what are they doing? Why are they spending so much time on this? But having gone through the struggle, like, it's really funny for a first-time dad. We were all laughing in our row because there's, we got young kids right now. I'm going to go emotional impact. And maybe this is a little low, but I'm going to go 6 out of 10. My wife cried. She, like, had tears in her eyes at the end of the movie when Franklin Richards is saving his mother. I didn't. I was like, yeah, he's gonna save his mother, and nothing like got me feeling any sort of a way other than like I enjoyed it the whole time, but no like bringing me to tears. That didn't happen. Soundtrack 7.5. Again, it's a movie where you don't even like notice there's music. I don't know if that's good. Like Superman, I noticed the music. The music was, I think, like primary part of the movie. Like without the music, that movie has half of its magic. This movie I think could have benefited from a little bit more character, and that's just me. It's kind of a neat theme. It's just plain MCU music. 7.5. Nothing bad, nothing great. The villain, I'll go 9 because of the sheer coolness of Galactus in this movie. He is really cool. Again, they do show like a world getting consumed, and that's cool. I wish like I could have seen, how does it happen? Like show me up front. Like, do they get to see this? There's some cool stuff. When he says like clever bug and turns around, like he's Vader levels of cool at some moments in this movie, but they kept him alive. I think we're going to get more, and I think it's going to be really neat. Overall enjoyment of this movie, I'm going to give it an 8.5. I had a very good time. Nothing blew my mind, though. I'm going to reserve 9 and up for something that, like, I legit left buzzing. And I'm going to rewatch this movie. I'm going to enjoy it again in the realm of, like, a Captain America: The First Avenger, or in, like, a Iron Man 1. Like, this is the first movie. I'm giving it some grace in that. I think that it's a very good first movie. I think it can climb from here, and so I'm going to leave it a little bit lower at an 8.5, which is still very good to me. Like, that's a very good score. Legacy, I'm going to go 10 though. I think this movie is hyper important for the rest of the MCU. It's the only 10 I'm giving this movie. This was a linchpin movie of, it has to be good. It has to be good, or the rest of your thing is going to be, your rest of your plan is out the window. If Fantastic Four was bad, I don't know what they would have done. There would have been no hype for the next couple movies here. Doomsday or for Secret Wars. So I think that they executed. This is an exact quote I told my wife on the car ride back. I said, "This felt like Marvel again. This felt good." There's a feeling with Phase 5, maybe Phase 6, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a feeling with those movies in the multiverse saga where it just felt cheap. It felt like corporate slosh, and this felt like the MCU has regained that like comic book stance again. And that's what I felt about Superman too. It was just so refreshing the last two movies that I've seen this month, where it's like, this is a comic book movie. Stop treating it like it's not. Like, we are going to enjoy it because it is a comic book. It's colorful, it's fun, it's bright. The villains are crazy. They had a baby in space. That's so cool. Like, don't dwindle this down to be this realistic thing. It's not. They have stretchy powers and they go invisible and light themselves on fire and are made of rock. Like, that is why we're here, to escape the reality of things. And they did a very good job with this. That this movie was so important. And then the end credits scene, the post-credit, first mid-credit, I guess is what you could call it, scene, and Doom is there. That has me buzzing, and I'm reading again, and I'm like going back. I want to get back on a Marvel Unlimited, I think is what the app was called. I used to have a subscription to it. It makes me want to go back to it and go read all the Secret Wars stuff. So I'm like prepared for the next year of my life's, discourse over this movie. I just think it was important and it did its job. And for that, this movie gets an 85 out of 100, 8.5 out of 10. I do think it's good. I think that there's room to grow. I think it's potentially going to be, a movie we look back fondly for years and years and years. It did its job. It's not going to blow your mind, but it did its job. So, overall, good movie. Go and watch it. It's important. If you care about the MCU, then you got to support this movie and have them see that we like the movies that stay true to the comics. So, with that being said, may the good Lord bless you and have a good one. Tell me in the comments exactly what you thought of the Fantastic Four.